Well, good evening, everyone down in Australia, and welcome to the call. Thanks for taking time out of your evening to join us here. Like I was saying, it was, it's there's other things I know you could be doing, and you're here, so that's important. For those of you in the States, it's bright and early in the morning. The day's just getting started. It's the 1st of June. It's really, in my opinion, summer's just starting up here, and so I love it. We've got great weather, and I hear down in Australia you got a little bit colder weather, moving more into your winter season. But, time for a change. Got to have changes. Don't be scared of change. My name is Dr. Kurt Fisnick. I'm a chiropractor up here in Fargo, North Dakota, and I love helping people, and that's what I've been doing all of my adult life. And so tonight we're going to talk about making money. We're going to talk about helping other people make an income using the Sisel compensation plan. And what I try and tell people is that the Sisel comp plan really is unique to the industry on a couple of different levels. There's some really good things about our comp plan that you can use to build your organization if you really know how to build this thing. And I call it kind of a step program. It's a program that, if you're willing to put some work in helping other people, you can build yourself a nice income. And I hope you heard me right. This plan is designed as a plan that pays you the most when you help other people. And so you can earn as you learn. You don't have to be an expert. If you're on this call and you've just joined the industry and you don't know anything about network marketing, this is a great plan for you because you can really earn as you build, as you grow. You don't have to sit there and have to know a lot about structure. A lot of network marketing companies, their comp plans are designed where you have to know a lot about building a structure, building an organization, placing people, things like that. Our comp plan, when you listen to what I have to say tonight, you'll realize that this is a really good comp plan for people who are just getting started. And it's a great comp plan for those who are seasoned and want to build a nice residual check. And so there's a few key things that I really talk to people about that you really want to know to make it work. So first thing, when you get started, when you start your Sisel business, you have to make a decision. Are you going to come in and get started at the bronze, the $50 PV level, and that's the kind of entry level, and you can do that. But the thing about it is that you'll give money to your upline. For the work that you do, you're going to pass some of the money that could go to you. You're going to pass it on up to your upline, but you're also going to have money that doesn't go to your upline, and it goes back to the company, right? And if you're working for somebody, do you want to give money to your people above you? Do you want to give money back to the company? Absolutely not. So we're going to talk about that. But you see, at this level, you only get paid commissions now. We're talking about monthly commissions, your mailbox money, the money that's there every month after month when people buy the products. You get paid a commission of 3 levels deep, 2%, 5%, and 5% on levels 1, 2, and 3. So if you bump that up, and you become a silver, $100 PV level, then you'd get paid the full commission that we get paid no matter, if you're coming even at the higher levels. But so you want to at least have $100 PV silver level, and then you get paid 2%, 8%, and 10% on those 3 levels. But also when you're a silver, when you're a $100 silver level, then you're going to earn 10% on level 4. And we're going to talk about that, why that's important. And that's not accessible at all if you're only the bronze $50 level. So again, you're letting some money roll back to the people that brought you in. You're letting some money roll back to the company. But if you start at the civil level, you're gonna get paid at the levels 1, 2, 3, and 4, as I said above. So minimally, in my opinion, you don't want to come in at anything less than the silver level. So in order to make this presentation, this talk a little bit shorter and make it so it's effective for you, I'm not going to talk about the bronze $50 level. I just don't think that it's a level for anyone that really wants to make money, and tonight's talk is really about making some money, and that's why you're here. If you got the announcement about the call and you saw what I posted, that it was a call about making some money, then you'll realize that that's what we want to talk about. Now, once you decide to come on board, the next level that you have to decide is which level you're going to come in at. And then the work you do after that's going to be the same. So remember that. No matter what you do, whatever your decision is, it's up to you. And then the work's the same after that. So if I hired you in a traditional marketplace, in a traditional business, and no matter what the task was, if I said you can work for $10 an hour, or I'd pay you $20 an hour, and the work's the same, would you take the $10 an hour? And your answer has to be absolutely not. So that's why the bronze $50 level is just not a way to get started, because the work that I'm going to ask you to do is the same once you get started. And you why not get paid at the highest level? So I'll enroll some people at the silver $100 level, but I don't think that, in my opinion, if that's the level they come in at, unless I know that they seriously don't have the money, they're not my serious business builders. They're not my people that are going to go out and build a huge organization. And so I'm probably not going to keep them on my front line. I'm going to move them down into my levels a little bit more. But they can be, again, some people, they come on board and they just don't have the money, or they don't have the belief in what we're doing. So you know your people. You got to learn to read them, and that's why we kind of have a holding tank for 30 days, because in the first 30 days you can tell who's going to go to work. But the platinum level, the $250 level, is really someone who's decided that they're going to build a business, and they're not going to give up any of their volume. They're not going to give up any of their structure. They're not going to give up any of their paycheck. And when the water machine was introduced, a year ago or so, you could actually come in at the $300 auto ship level, and at that level, then you got paid for the water machines as well on a monthly basis. So that's what I do. I don't want to let any money pass me by. But at the platinum $250 level, that's what we're going to talk about. You open up a few other things that you don't have access to when you're bronze or silver. Now your pay, it goes from 4 levels all the way to 10 levels deep. And this is important, and we'll talk about this more on Saturday's talk, and we'll talk about the end of today's talk. But you'll have access to some other bonuses that you can't access when you're bronze, silver, or gold. But so think about the platinum, the $250 level. If you talk to anyone who's run a successful business, you know that you need to have products on hand to hand out as samples. People are always going to be saying, "Hey, do you have any samples?" When you do a presentation, you're going to want to pour a glass of the triangle of life of each product to everybody. So in my opinion, you want to have some of that on hand, not just for your own consumption, but to share with other people. And then you're going to want to have some products that you can share. You're going to run into people that, like I do every day, they're going to say, "Well, do you have any of that on hand? I don't want to join today, but I'd like to try the product. I'll buy it from you." And so I always keep some products on hand that I'm going to sell. And really think about it like this. If you're running a hot dog stand and you don't have any buns, you don't have any wieners, you're really not going to make any money. And then you think about the condiments. If you don't have any ketchup or mustard, no product, no business, no money, no paycheck. And then the difference is bigger businesses, they have more samples, they have more products to sell. And so those are all important things that you want to think about. And we also have a master pack. You can come in at $1,000, and that qualifies you for a few other bonuses. But, you know, I don't talk about tonight too much. There were just a few things that I wanted to talk about. But here's something that you really need to think about, okay? If we were in a room and I was doing a presentation, at this point I would tell everybody, I'd say, okay, I want everybody to take and do this at home, you know, and think about it. If I said, everybody reach up and take your left index finger and touch your nose, but as I'm telling you that, I'm touching my chin. Half the people in the room are watching me, and they're listening to me, and they're going to touch their chin, even though I just said touch your nose, right? And the reason that I say that is because people do as you do. They don't necessarily do as you say. And always remember that. And so when you're talking to somebody, they're going to say, Kurt, what did you do? And then I'm going to tell them, I'm going to say, well, I came in at the master pack level. They say, oh, what's that? And then I'm going to explain it to them. And you're going to find that people are going to tend to do that because that's what you did. And so think about that when you're getting started. What level did you come in at? And so now that you've decided to make your order, your 100, your 250, your 300, your $1,000 in product, $500, I mean, that's up to you. So let's get started. You've just joined. You've just helped somebody else join. And the first step is really, in my opinion, we want to help you get your initial investment back. If you came in at $100, let's go out and help you make $100. If you came in at $250 at the platinum level, let's help you go out and get that. Because this is an investment in yourself. It's not just an investment in product. You're not just throwing money out there. What you're doing is you're buying products that's going to make a difference in your life. And we're not going to talk a lot about that tonight. But this is just the beginning. It's your business. It's your $1 million business. Treat it like a $1 million business. I mean, I'll tell you, I got started in this industry. I mean, I dabbled in it. I sold products. But really, after my motorcycle wreck 10 years ago, that's when I got into the industry. And I had to jump in wholeheartedly. I couldn't do anything else. I was crippled up in a wheelchair. And I needed to make some money. And when I talk about building your $1 million a year business, I mean, my business is doing over $1 million in sales. Think about that. I don't work all that hard, in my opinion. I mean, I put some time in, but I don't work hard. It's not like I'm going out there and building roads or digging ditches, right? And so it's your business. What would you do with your $1 million business? And I don't care what level you come in at, because, you know, it's up to you. But if you want to build a business, the next step is really the same. It's up to you. So I'm up front with new people. When they get started, I make a 20% fast start. I tell people that right away. And that's because I did the work to help bring you on board. And the difference, if you come in at the silver level, I'm going to make 20% of $100. So I'm going to make $20. If you come in at platinum, I make $50. So the $30 difference, I mean, seriously, it's not that big a difference there. That $30 isn't that big a difference. So I really don't care. It's up to you. And then so step 2 is this. I'm going to ask you to make a list of names of the people that you know. And think about this. If you could earn thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars for every name that you add to the list, how long would your list be? You've got 10 minutes. Start writing. How many names could you put on a list? No phone numbers. Don't prejudge. just how many people would you put on that list? Who would you contact? Every name is worth thousands of dollars. Do you think in 10 minutes you could put down 100 names on a list? I bet you could. I bet that you could put on 150 or 200 people. And so if you could add $1,000 a month to your paycheck for every name that you put on there, I mean, you'd come up with a lot of people. And if you don't add them to your list, just remember they're an automatic no, or they might be on. They might end up on my list. They might end up on somebody else's list. I've seen that happen where people say, "Oh, I was going to contact Bob, but somebody else already did." So what if they're the next hot shot? What if they're the next one that can add a couple hundred people to your business? I mean, so make sure they're on your list. And then what I do is I tell people, I say, okay, now take that list and narrow it down to the top 10. If you could start a business and you could pick 10 people out of your list of 100 or 200 names, which 10 would you like to have as your board of directors? Who do you know that have already run successful business? Who do you know that's already an entrepreneur? And who do you know that you wouldn't mind helping them make $1 million, right? And those are the people that we want to contact first. And I'm going to help you with those first 10. It's going to be almost like you're going to be an apprentice. And we're going to call those people together. I don't want you to call them and say, "Hey, Bob, I'm going to call you up with my buddy Kurt, and, we're going to share this thing with you." No, I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to send a warning shot out there. If I go hunting, I don't send a warning shot out there and tell all the deer that, "Hey, I'm coming and I got a gun." No, what I want to do is we're going to call those people together, and I promise you, I'm not going to high-pressure sales any of your people. I'm not going to harass them, because here's what I'll tell you is I don't like people doing it to me, and I won't do it to you, and I won't do it to your friends or your people. I'll simply tell them this. I'll say, "Hey, Bob, me and Katie, or me and Trevor, or me and Jerry, we've joined a business together, a business where we can change lives. Would you have a minute to hear what I have to say?" And I'll continue to do that until you feel comfortable. Maybe I'll have to help you with your first 100, 200, 300 calls. It doesn't matter. And not only will I do that, but once we bring somebody on board, I'm going to do the same thing, the same exact thing for them, and I'm going to help them. And I'm going to have you on the call as well, because that way you're going to hear it, and we're going to build that business together, and you're going to learn. And my goal is that I'm going to find a number of people that, a lot of people, if I can, I'm going to find people who are better at it than I am. I want you to be better than me. I'm not afraid of that, because you know what? I admit I'm a beginner. I'm still learning, and that's what I want. So that's the steps. So think about this. If this were a game of baseball, you're in the batter's box. Once you decide that you're going to play ball, you're in the batter's box until you start making calls. So then I move you up to the home plate. You got a bat in your hand, and everybody thinks that they're up at the plate. They're ready to start playing because they signed up. No, you have to start batting. That's when you get started. And if I call you and you didn't get your list done, I can't help you. If I call you and I say, "Hey, did you get that list done? And let's call some people," and you say, "No, some things came up. I didn't get it done." Well, we got to delay the game. It's a rained out game. We got to start over somewhere else. And so that's what I tell people. I say, "Well, I'll try and call you back. When would you have that done? Tomorrow?" And they'll say, "Yeah, tomorrow." And I say, "Great, okay, I'll call you back tomorrow." And I might reduce it down from 10. I might say, "Let's call 3. Get 3 names, 3 numbers." But I try and make it easy, because I want people to see, because they've never done this before. I want them to see that it's not that bad. And you move your player to first base when they develop curiosity. And that's all you're trying to do is you're not trying to sell them anything. You're not trying to sign them up. You're just trying to get them curious. You have what? You have a company that's coming out with a product that can stop the aging process. Oh, you're ridiculous, right? But that's the thing is that you're getting them curious. You're not signing them up. Second base is when you satisfy that curiosity. Yeah, hey, you got to take a look at that. I'm going to send you a recording. I'm going to give you this brochure. I want you to listen to this CD. I want you to do something, some kind of a tool. And what that is, in my opinion, is that you're moving them from first base to second base. And then the next step is moving them from second to third base, and that's when you do the three-way call. They're interested enough after they've looked at your brochure or your recording, then now you're going to do the three-way call. The three-way call adds credibility. It's not like when you go to the jewelry store and you're looking at some diamond rings and the salesperson can't get you to pull out your credit card. So then she says, "When I'm going to go get Steve, and Steve will help you make a decision." Yeah, she's going to get the closer. She's going to get the guy that he's going to make sure that you don't leave that store without a diamond ring in your hand. We don't do that here, right? But what we do is we do a three-way call, and what it does, it adds credibility to our products. And so when you do a three-way call, all of a sudden, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 anymore. It's almost like it adds a multiplication factor, and now 1 + 1 equals 4 or 8 or 16 or something like that. But it adds a multiplication factor into it. And so it's a home run when they enroll and they say they're going to go to work. But again, they're not up there at the home base batting until they've made their list and we start making those calls. They're in the game, but they aren't playing yet. We haven't gave them the chance to hit the ball. So those are some basics that you need to understand, and I try and establish that every time I talk about the business because I want you to understand that, and you can build a business on that. That's how simple this business is. This business is simple, but it's not easy, right? Simple, not easy. It's still work. You got to do it, and you got to do it. I tell people, engage in the business every single day. Every single day. Don't just shuffle papers around. Don't just reorganize your desk. You actually want to go to work. And the other thing that a three-way call does is it adds credibility. And people are going to see, they're going to go, oh, that's not so hard. All Katie does is she doesn't do any of the work. She makes Kirk do all the work. She makes him, answer all the tough questions, right? And that's what you want. You want your new people to see that this is easy to do. And then as they see that and as they get to learn the products, then, and they don't have to become a scientist. You guys have me to help you do that. I understand the products, and we've got the recordings that Tom's done. But it helped them make them go think to themselves, yeah, I can do that. I could do that. I could see myself doing that. And then they realize that they might be in a business for themselves, but they're not in the business by themselves. Did you get that? They're not in the business by themselves. They're working with a lot of us, helping them build their business. And you want to help your people until they're so comfortable doing it, like I said, that they're better than you. And when they're better than you, you just let them fly, take the leash off their collar and let them go. Don't hold them back. And you want to build a team of people that could just go out there and really do it for themselves. So let's talk about putting your money in your e-wallet. So in the beginning, when you first get started, if you just got started today, if you just got started this month, if you just got started last month, or in the first, I'm going to say probably 3 or 4 months, in the beginning, your money comes off your 20% fast start check. So if somebody said to me, I need to make $1,000, well, you're making 20%, so you need to go out there and need to find $5,000 in sales, whether it comes from customers or distributors. That's what I'm going to tell them. I'm going to say you need to go out and find $5,000. If you came at the master pack level and people do as you do, then the thing that you need to realize is that if you find 5 people who just say, I'm going to do what you did, okay, get me in, I'm going to do what you did, you find 5 people, and now you know you've got some serious business people. These people just invested $1,000 in themselves. Don't drop the ball on them because they're telling you, hey, I'm the guy, right? And those 5 people, you just made your first $1,000. Easy, right? But most people, that's not how they come in. Most people are going to come in at a lower level. They're going to come in maybe silver or platinum, right? And you make 20%, so you still need to find $5,000 in business volume to make that $1,000. How you do it is really up to you. If you want to go out there and sign up a ton of people at the bronze level, you know, you need to sign up 100 of them, right? $50 in volume times 100, right? That's 5,000. To me, that sounds like a hard way of doing it. But on average, I found that most people in the business, they'll spend $150 on their product purchase. So really, if you look at it, 5,000 business volume divided by $150 in average sales. So you need just over 33 people. So let's just say that you're going to need around 34 or 35 people spending the average purchase to make your $1,000 in paycheck. And if you want to get that in your first month, you know, let's get started. Again, your income the first month, the first couple months is going to come from Fast Start. So always remember that, 20%. And if you want to consider that as your main source of income, your first couple months, just understand that principle, and that's what we can do. If you're just getting started, even if you've been in the business for 2 years and you're just getting started, that Fast Start bonus is going to be your main source of income. So let's go out and let's start looking for people and recruiting them, and then let's see what happens after you have a downline. So let's talk a couple months down the road now. What does it take if you're a platinum, a serious business builder, and you're enrolling platinum business builders, and we're only gonna look at them in the scenarios that I'm talking about. If the people in your downline are silvers or bronze or gold, where they're spending less than the 250 in PV, in my opinion, at this point, we're going to consider them cheerleaders. They're cheering you on. They're doing a little bit of business. They're building some people in, but they're not your serious business builders. We're not talking about customers, and you're going to bring a lot of people in as customers. And sometime, you know, they might bump up to higher levels, but during our consideration now is what we're talking about. We're not going to talk about those people. That's just extra in your business, building your volume, and you're making money off of it, and you're still helping them. You're still, you know, loving them and helping them, making them understand things every month, but they're not going to be the guy that you're going to call up every day and say, hey, do you need any help with anything? So on level 1, now we're talking about monthly commissions. You only make 2%. I hear people griping about that once in a while. Well, why would they only pay me 2%? And again, I'm going to go back to what I said in the beginning of this call. This comp plan isn't designed around enrolling people. This comp plan is designed around, let's go out and help some people make some money. So I'm not going to pay you your biggest volume on the people that are closest to you. I'm not going to pay you your biggest money on that. I'm going to pay you your biggest money on helping those people make money. So I'm going to put the bigger percentages of your paycheck deeper down, and I'll show you the importance of that as we go here. And so the 2%, I don't even look at that as being much at all. I don't make a lot off my frontline people. But you need people there. and because 85% of your check, of your future check, is going to come off of the people that you have on your front line. So I've got 6 people across my front line, and I'm building with them. I'm building with them. I'm doing over $1 million a year in sales with 6 people across my front line. But tonight what we're going to do is, because we're focusing on really tonight, what can we do to help you make $1,000 up to $3,000 a month? That's the focus of today on Saturday morning in Australia, Friday night here, tomorrow night here in the States. We're going to talk about what can you do to build a bigger check. But tonight we're really focusing on, building on up to about $3,000 a month, okay? And that's for somebody, they want an extra income, but they're not necessarily looking for a replacement income. But in the beginning, let's focus on building 3 legs, right? Just 3 people that you're going to build, 3 teams, and you're going to help those people make some money. Remember, that's the goal. This comp plan is designed around you helping them make money, and you get paid for that. So if you're looking for people, some people say, well, how do you find those people? You simply ask them, hey, do you want to learn how to make some extra money working an extra hour a day or so? And they're going to tell you yes or no. Quite simply, that's how it goes. You can screen them that quickly. Hey, are you looking for an extra way of making money? No. Next. That's what should be going through your head. And you can ask people that question really quickly. So if you build 3 legs and you're doing what I'm saying and you're asking people this and you're helping them, you're teaching them how to do that, you can do this. And what I'm going to say is that at the silver level, okay, at the silver level, even if you're only spending $100 a month, if somebody says, oh, $250, I can't afford to spend that. I don't care. Spend $100 then. Everybody can spend $100, and you're going to get paid all the way down to your 4th level, right? And you're not going to give up any money. Not now. Because you're not qualified really for any bonuses anyhow. But you're not going to give up any money on your commissions if you're at least at the $100 silver level. So let's go out and let's build 3 legs, right? First thing that I must say is that when you get started, you can't build 3 all at the same time. You're gonna start by building 1. And what I love about the Sisel comp plan is that you get paid all the way down. If you're at least a silver, if you're gold or you're platinum, same thing. But you're going to get paid all the way down to your 4th level, even if you just build 1 leg. So let's say that you go out there and you enroll somebody, you enroll Bob, and Bob just goes to town and he builds a huge organization right away. But you don't have anybody else doing anything. You just have Bob. Well, the unique thing about our comp plan is that you don't have to have any other matching legs to get paid. You're going to get paid all the way down to your 4th level on the 1 leg, and you get your second leg started. You're going to get paid four levels deep. You're going to get paid 4 levels deep, is all the way down, and then you build the third leg, and you do the exact same thing. So let me show you what happens with that. Again, we're focusing on helping you build 3. And we're looking for 3 people who come in at the platinum level. Again, that's what we're talking about. When you're talking about business building, you're looking for 3 people who come in at the platinum level. What do you get paid for that? Well, you get paid 2% on your front line. Whoop-de-doo, right? You don't get paid a lot of money because at that level, you're making 2%. That's $5 off of each of the 3 legs. So 5 times 3, you're getting $15. Okay, that barely buys gas to go to the grocery store. But now what you're going to do is you're going to help those people go out, and you're going to help them find 3 each. So 3 legs with 3 people times $250 in volume. So that's 9 people. You're going to have $2,250 in volume. You get paid 8%. Okay, if you have a pen and paper, write this down. So on your first level, 5 3 times 250 is 750 times 2% equals $15. Then right below that, you're gonna put a structure. You're gonna go 3 times 3 times 250 equals 2250 times 8%. You're gonna get paid $180. Guess what? You're making your money back on a monthly basis. You can honestly say, I'm in business and it doesn't cost me a dime. I'm making enough money that, I mean, yeah, it costs you some. I mean, maybe 100, but you're making your money back. And all you've done is you found 3 people and you've helped them find 3 people each. Okay? Then let's go out and help them make their money back. So now you take those 9 people, the 3 who found 3, and what you're going to do is you're going to help them find 3 each. And again, you're helping them find 3 platinum $250 people, right? So 3 times 3 times 3 times the $250 purchase is $6,750. Again, write that down, $6,750 in volume. And you're going to get paid 10% at this level. So you're getting paid $675. So all you've done is you've found 3 people and you've built that a 3 by 3 by 3 structure. So it's three levels wide, 3 down, and so how much are you getting paid? So you take the $15, $180, the $675. Look at that. You're almost making $1,000 a month right there, right? Well, let's go one level deeper, because at the silver, the gold, the platinum levels, you're getting paid 4 levels deep. So what you're going to do is you're going to help those 27 people do the exact same thing, right? 3 people. Who couldn't find 3 people that want to do this? Everybody can find 3 people. They just got to know how to ask the right question. And the right question is, hey, if I could show you how to make a little bit of extra money every month, getting healthier, helping other people get healthier, helping other people avoid bankruptcy, would you have an interest? That's the question. If they say no, you say next, right? But would you be interested in getting healthy? I've got some products I got to show you. If they say no on the making money, then you say, hey, I've got some products I need to show you. You want to try some coffee, right? But let's look at the 4th level. What happens there? You've got 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 250. I'm going to say it again. Write this down. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 250. So that's $20,000 in volume, okay? You're a 2-star, right? You get paid 10%. You get paid another $2,000, okay? So that's the math on it. You've built 3 legs. You've helped them do the same thing. You've duplicated that down to your 4th level. Now let's add that all the way up, and let's find out what's going on here. And so if you add that up, I mean, you're making almost $3,000 a month. You're making almost $3,000 a month. Plus, if you're platinum, you're actually getting some extra bonuses in there as well, and you're actually making more than that. But you're making $3,000 a month. So, what if that took you 5, 6, 10 months, right? What if it took you a year? If you put in an extra hour a day for a year, every day, put in an hour a day, and the company started sending you even just $1,000 a month. I mean, let's just say $1,000 a month, right? You built that 3 by 3 structure. I'll tell you what, if you go to your boss at your regular job and you say, hey, I'm going to work an extra hour a day, 5 days a week, I want you to pay me $1,000 a month. What are they going to do? They're going to laugh at you, right? Because at $20 an hour times 5 hours, if you put an hour a day in, 5 days a week, that's $100 a week. That's $400 a month. I mean, even if they did pay you $20 an hour, that's $400 per month. You're asking for $1,000. They're going to laugh at you. But if you go to that 4th level and you help them build that, you're making almost $3,000 a month. And to me, You're getting overpaid. We're all getting overpaid if you do that. But what happens is people give up before they get there because they say, well, you know, I'm in my third month and I'm still not making that $3,000 a month that Kurt promised me. Well, it might take longer than that. You know, you might have some problems with your credibility in the beginning. You might have some problems with the people on your list. Maybe you hang around with a bunch of losers. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on that you have to look at. You have to take into consideration, and you know, it's something that you can build on. But I think that it's pretty amazing that you can make almost $3,000 a month, and you don't have to have any kind of a structure. I mean, really, in those first 4 levels, that volume, all of that volume, could come off of one leg. You don't even need 2 legs. You could build one leg. If you could put all of that volume, that almost $30,000 in volume, you could put that in one leg, and you could get paid on it. Think about that. If you've been in the network marketing industry for a while and you've seen pay plans, I mean, I've seen these binary plans where they say, well, you got to have matching legs. You know, this leg over here, it could have $1 million in volume, but if you only have $1,000 in your other leg, that's what you get paid on. Who does that benefit? Well, that benefits the big leaders who got started in the beginning. That benefits the company because they know that all that paycheck that you're giving up is going back to them. They love it. They love it. And so what I try and tell people is that I like this comp plan because it's fair. It's paying you that all the way down to that 4th level. And I've just showed you that you can make $3,000 a month with no structure at all. What company has a comp plan like that, right? And all you've done here is we're talking, you only enrolled 3 people who came in at the $250 level yet. And I'm telling you what, I'm not going to let you do that. If you're in my business, I'm going to help you go out and find another person and another person. You're not going to stop. I mean, since I've gotten into Sisel over 4 years ago, on average, I've enrolled 5 people per month every month since the day that I joined. Again, that's what I've done. And I'm not even any good at this. It's just that I do the work that I'm talking about. I don't sit here and tell you to do this stuff and then I go sit on a lawn chair somewhere. No, I'm actually out doing this every single day. I don't ask people to do what I wouldn't do. And so that's what I'm going to tell you. And you're not in control. I mean, this month you might have only enrolled 1. That's okay. You know, it's not always that you're doing something wrong. It might be that you might have talked to the wrong people this month, right? And so that's what you want to think about. But think about that. Tonight we want to talk about how do you put an extra $1,000 to $3,000 a month in your pocket. I've just set that out for you. That's how I look at it. You notice I didn't ask you to memorize the comp plan. You don't need to do that. What you need to do is you need to memorize, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And if you do that, that's how you get to build a paycheck. And I call that the checkbook mentality. That's thinking in terms of your checkbook. What do I have to do to make this work? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop tonight's call, and I've gone over by 15 minutes, and I apologize for that. You're going to set the pace. You're going to set the example. On Saturday morning, now what we're going to do is we're going to take the talk that we did tonight, and we're going to expand upon this, and I'm going to show you how you can make a lot of money. For those of you that want to make a gob of money and you want to be driving around in a yacht like Trevor, or you want to be driving a fancy car, or you just all these different things. You want to travel the world like Sandy. These are the things that we're going to talk about on Saturday morning. Same number. Join us on the call. Hang on one second. I'm gonna shut the recording off here and see if anybody has any questions.